Hello and welcome back. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about washing your fursuits. So now that I've told you about aftercare, I'm now going to tell you about how to wash your suit. I'm going to be very descriptive about how you do this. So the first thing that's very important is you want to get Woolite. It is a very mild detergent. It will not cause a lot of fading or anything like that. It's used typically on delicate things, and there's a very specific one you should get, the one with it says specifically delicates. They have one for everyday use, but this is the one you really want to be using on your fursuit. Your suit is delicate and it will fade. The coloring on there will slowly wear away over time, and this is the best, and it has been suggested by many different suitors that I've talked to about how to wash, or where you should wash, or what you should wash with, what type of things. This has always come up in conversations to use this. So Woolite, and I'll have it in the description below. But all right, the next step is pretty straightforward. So you're getting ready to prep your suit. Now your suit is already flipped inside out, and if you haven't, do that now. If you're going to be washing your suit when you're following this video, it's pretty straightforward. All of this fluff and these things that they use to make the digicrate look, just pull those out. If you had any dryer sheets, pull those out. So now you have all of this extra stuff. This here, just set that aside. You don't need that anymore. All right, so it is advised to throw the suit inside out, like so. This will protect from excess matting or pulling. When these go around in the tumbler, there are little metal holes on the side will snag and slowly pull these away. So flip it inside out to help better protect your fursuit. All right, now the next step, if you have any tail fluff or an attached tail, like mine has some of that in there, you just basically pull all the tail fluff out. So I have this, and it's actually really so I have to like, I'll see this goes. Okay, so that's empty. All right, now your suit is mostly prepped. At this stage, if you have a zipper, you can do a couple things. You can try and zip it up. That is the advised thing to do. So while I do that real quick, so easy, so we can just, you want to see that 4 fingers out, that's the whole thing. And nothing else, yeah, we'll still see that. All right, so now we have our suit. It's zipped up from the inside, and now we're going to take this over and wash it. All right, so I'm going to talk to you guys about something that's really important. And the first thing is do not use the dryer. It is for the obvious reasons you are not using the dryer is that you will melt your fursuit. Even in low settings, it still uses a amount of heat, and even though that heat may not be as damaging, you really miss the opportunity to brush your fursuit out. So here is the final scary part of this whole process. We are going to now take our suit, right? And we're just gonna bundle it up. And I would suggest taking all of the open parts like so and fold it down in so that the extra fur doesn't initially like catch on anything. All right. This is just if you want to be extra careful. And because this by itself will be enough for one load, all right, we're just gonna shove it on in. All right. Close it up. All right, so now that our fursuit's in the washing machine, we're going to open it up and we're gonna read what it says for our Woolite. And in this particular setup, mine says for machine wash, use 2 of these cups. It's a high efficiency setup. So I'm using 2 of these. And another one of those. All right, now this is an optional thing. I'm gonna do it anyway because Borax actually helps with fighting stains, and I want my suit to not have dirt marks on its feet area. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of that in there. It helps add, it's just an addition, kind of like OxyClean would help. All right, now on to the settings. So I have it set to delicates, because it is delicate. All right, you want cold or cold water clean at a medium or low setting, and then its soil level is normal soil level, and that's pretty much it. Cold. I'm probably going to have it do a rinse and spin following it, so the freshwater rinse for me is going to not happen, but if you don't have this extra rinse and spin, then the freshwater rinse and an extended spin option is your best bet. And this is to get all of the excess water out while you are currently washing your suit. All right, now we're gonna start it. And that's as simple as that. So, I have now set it so that it is on rinse and spin, and I have set it to a maximum speed. And I did this on the rinse and spin cycle because it is not nearly as long as the main wash. This is just a touch up, and as you can see, that is spinning really, really fast. So now that the fursuit's done, it is no longer needing to actually be in the washing machine anymore, and I am ready to take it out. So the first thing I'm gonna do is test to see how damp it is on the inside. It is actually, wow, really not that bad, and the seams have held up pretty well. So it's not nearly as heavy, and this is because of the last stage of that washing process. Slowly but surely unzip this. All right, so once you got it zipped up, just, do the basics, pull it inside out. So what we were trying to avoid by flipping this inside out was all the matting. So you can see that the fur on here and here aren't nearly as bad as they could be, and they're not ripped out of the suit. They just kind of looks like a wet dog right now. So we're just gonna flip this suit inside, right side out. All right, so now that you see it in this state, you can kind of understand why I said don't put it through the dryer. So there's a couple things you're gonna need for this. First is a dog brush. The second is a fan, and optionally so, get one of these, because this is how I'm gonna use to dry it from the inside out. So the first stage in this, for me, is to open this up, put that in, and zip this shut. All right, so now that we have that zipped up, I can now power this on and start drying it from the inside. So, now that that is the case, I'm going to talk to you about how to use your brush, okay? Your brush has an angle, and that angle is shaped, so I'm going to bring this closer. My camera does not focus close enough, so you have to bear with me. The angle of it curves in like so, as a hook, right? Don't do that. Don't hook it this way. You want to actually be brushing it this way, so that when you brush against the fur, you're actually scraping over without actually pulling any of that fur out. So instead, take this brush like so, and just go down so that you're not hooking into it. Now, what we're gonna do from now on is spend the next couple hours brushing out this suit so it looks nice again. And we put the blanket down so that you won't pick up any extra dirt that's on the floor back into the suit, because you just spent 30 minutes putting it through the wash and you don't want to do this again. So I'm going to set my fan to high, and I'm going to make it so that it spins around and slowly dries the suit out. And you know, washing the suit and drying the suit are very important. Drying the suit is just a longer process. And as you can see right away, this may not even take that long. Right away, it's coming right out of its matted state back into a normal fur-like state. But you want to do this a little bit more so that you get it really nice and new feeling. And I'm going to time lapse the rest of this. So, I've just washed the suit. I've just done the initial brushing of the suit, and I wanted to give some pointers about some specific areas you should pay attention to. The first way is, like I have mentioned before, paying attention to how you're holding your brush, and so that you don't hold like a whole bunch of fur coming out that won't come back. The second is pay attention to the tail, and pay attention to, if you have digitigrade legs, pay attention to the fact that digitigrades are three-dimensional, they're not a one-dimensional object. So they will have more spots that you will miss because you just didn't see them. And that is also why we will be coming back to this again in 2 hours so that I can give it a basic one-over. Now that it's been sitting out and it's dried for about 2 hours or so, I feel comfortable hanging it up without causing some stretch. So at this point, what you're trying to do is to brush out all of the spots that you missed, didn't see, or were hard to get while it was lying down flat. At this particular stage in time, you should use your judgment to figure out whether or not you feel comfortable putting it away in storage, or whether or not you feel comfortable with its current state. But you saw what it looked like before, and now you can see what it looks like. You know, find some places that mat up and kind of just give it a good brush down. So the initial brush was to get all of the initial mats out so they didn't become a problem later on in this stage. And now this stage is been dealt with. You can just continue focusing on brushing it and making it look nice. Alright, well I hope you guys found this tutorial informative, and I hope to see you guys at Rainforest. It's really closely approaching, and I'm going to leave you with this one thing. What is your favorite type of candy? First of all, shout out to Trax and Hazel from Sweden, who brought some chocolate over from Sweden when they visited me this weekend. Awesome chocolate happens to be mine. What's yours? Have a good one.